Today, I'm going over some of my favorite builds, and what I've chosen to save to my auto build list, plus what I use them all for. So, let's get to it. The first device in my auto build list is the latest thing that I saved. That being a super simple hoverbike, which only requires a control stick, fan, and a piece of rail that I acquired from the Right Leg Depot underground. It's a simple device that will get you pretty far. The only downside being is it's rather hard to make it go downward sometimes. Otherwise, it's a great flying device. Second in my list, I have this device, a ball lodged between two balls that have been stake nudged apart, with wheels and a way to control it. I primarily keep this saved as a convenient, fast way to have a cool looking lower body for any mech that I may want to build. At the same time, it also serves as a vehicle in its current configuration, but I usually don't use it for that. Third up on my list, I have a walking mech that Link can control. I remember spending a lot of time and effort building this and trying to get the walking part just right, so I had to save it. Downside is it's not really practical to use, like at all, and it's pretty difficult to mount just to use it. Oh yeah, and it loves to break itself apart, but it can be made to operate as a standalone mech. All you have to do is remove the control stick, and then you can just watch it go wander around aimlessly. So that is an added bonus.
Outstanding!
Next up in my list is a turbine with a fan attached. If you've been around the channel for a while, you will see this device used pretty often. Most of the time, it might not work out, but this thing does look cool, and I like to slap this item on my builds pretty often. All it takes to get it running is a single shock emitter, and then you have a pretty OP fan. The next item on my list is a pulse laser. It's not a hard device to recreate, but it can become time consuming if you're trying to get it just right. I use this device quite often in most of my mech builds, or even if I want to attach weapons to a plane or a car. But sometimes I like to just throw a quick scooter together and place one of these onto it. Then I go harass the nearby wildlife with it. Not only is a pulse laser wildly power efficient, but it also somehow does more damage when compared to just a single laser. This is easily one of my most used auto builds. My next item is a death cage that I used in a video a while back. I originally liked this idea and had planned on doing an improved version after that video, but I kinda forgot about it, and time went on, and here we are now. So yeah. The cage itself contains a bunch of different emitters, and has proven to be rather effective against most mobs that I throw it towards. You could certainly take this item into a holdout as your only weapon and have no issues at all. Seventh in my auto builds list is a fully automatic enemy seeking mech. This thing looks pretty cool and packs a pretty hard punch. This creation was among some of the first mech types I used to make before I started adding weird obscure parts to all my builds. However, even now, it still holds up pretty well. I set it loose on some nearby mobs, and it wiped them all off the field with no issues at all. I do enjoy when I have to put forward the bare minimum effort, and my creation does all the work for me. So, if that's the kind of thing that piques your interest, I would highly recommend building a mech similar to this one. And last but certainly not least in my auto build log is the OG hoverbike. Considered legendary in its ease of use and controllability, it's easy to see why this is here. In fact, I'm pretty sure majority of us who play this game have a variation of this bike in their Autobuilds log. If I need to travel somewhere obscure, or even just scout out a location, this is what I use. It's the best creation you could ask for in a wide open exploration game like Tears of the Kingdom, and it rightfully deserves its place. If you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Also, leave a comment because I respond to those pretty often. And as always, I'll catch you next time.